Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see, in this game we've got Reejr and Flagstaff 2016, who is affectionately known amongst us in ICOP as Rocket. Feel free to hit me up anytime, ask me the story behind that. Matchmaking is actually pretty good here. This is a mixed tier match with some 7, 6, and 5. There is a CV on either side. We see Reejr in the Izmail, which is, at least in my opinion, a pretty good battleship for the tier. And Rocket is in the Pensacola. Pensacola, of course, is an American cruiser with pretty heavy AP shells, but being tier 6, pretty squishy. So this will be fun to watch. Don't know a whole lot about this game. Reejr said he had a good game. He didn't indicate whether this was a win or loss, at least not that I can recall. This past week has been, I think it's fair to say, a pretty rough week for me, so I'm a little behind on getting my game replays watched and recorded and posted up, but I committed to those who sent them in that I'd be doing all I could this weekend to get as many as possible done. So that's what I'm doing today. Looks like Reejr and Rocket are both going to be moving north along the eastern side of the map. Threats. Of course, the enemy CV is a threat. It is a tier 6, but though I know some will argue to the contrary, the constant spotting and the constant threat of torpedo hits and or fires from CVs without, in my opinion at least, sufficient means to counter, makes them a real threat, especially late game. And for the DDs in the game, being a DD main, I can say that is it's a consistent challenge, I guess we'll put it that way. The spotting provided by CVs in the current meta is it's a real challenge. And of course, as we move up into higher tiers, a proliferation of 12-kilometer radar adds to the challenge. Anyhow, neither of these fellas is playing a DD. One of course in a battleship, the other in a cruiser. I'm just editorializing, I guess would be a good way to say that. I was a little surprised to see Reejr fire there without zooming in, but maybe the goal where it was just to scare somebody off. I'm not sure there. There's a friendly Gneisenau that decided to go west. He's out there, I would say alone, but he does have aircraft, as the CV seems to be focusing that side. Reejr's got shots out on Montecuccoli. Some chip damage. Maybe that Sinop will show some broadside. Now the Izmail, I believe, like most of the Russian battleships, becomes less accurate beyond about where the range is here, beyond about range 12. But this is kind of the Goldilocks zone range-wise for Russian battleships, so I imagine this is going to really hurt that Sinop. He's going to get penalized heavily for showing broadside here. Yeah, he did. Nice shot, Reejr. The dispersion at this range for Russian battleships is pretty darn good, as you can see there. A double Citadel, 30 some odd thousand damage in the one volley. That was a heck of a shot, and that Sinop player really did pay a heavy price for opting to turn around, or I guess maybe more accurately, for getting so close and then trying to turn around. I think those shells are going to drop behind him. And you can see the comments there from the Gepard and then someone else about how difficult it is to play a DD with CVs in the game.
Problem solved, sir.
Now, Reejr's showing a lot of broadside here, but looks to me like he's going to try and finish off the setup. Like a sequential fire there, just hoping to get enough of a spread to ensure that at least one finish out setup. Nice shot.
Линкор противника потоплен.
And Reejr's just letting the fire burn, which is smart. That damage is repairable using his repair. Since he's no longer seen, I guess he's decided to go ahead and use his repair, this being a Russian battleship. His cooldown time on the repair is pretty quick, but there is a limited number of uses. Down goes the friendly Minsk. This is not looking good for the good guys. They're down 4 ships, bad guys are down 2. Rocket's in there pretty close. I'm a little surprised that he's still in the game, given the number of ships on the enemy team on that side. Looks like he's falling back. That's probably a good idea. You can see there's a friendly or an enemy Leander that's pushing the cap at this point. He's got a Bayern, oh, 2 Bayern with him, and the Gaida. The friendly Reejr is getting behind some cover in anticipation of their push toward the cap, I guess. I think the good guys are in trouble just looking at the positioning here. Most of the team is on one line of the map, kind of between the 8 and 9 lines. Gneisenau is all alone there at Foxtrot 3. Reejr's going to try and put some shells on the Synop. The whole team should be focusing that Synop. And it looks like Reejr's going to turn around, which I think is a good idea. I was a little concerned he was going to push north alone here, and I think that would have really been tough, because Lazo's a great HE spammer. Gneisenau takes down one of the Bayern. And I think had Reejr continued north, he probably would have been focused down fairly quickly between the Lazo, the SAP shells from Monokukli, and I imagine the New York would probably have put his shells that way as well, and the enemy CV more than likely would have dropped him. You can see the enemy Synop there that was pinned against the rocks. He's healed and was trying to get out of there, and just like that, good guys are back in the game. Good guys are down 6 ships, bad guys are down 5. Points lead really isn't that bad. I mean, it's what, 75 points or so. Nice broadside shot on New York. No Citadel, but some good damage there. 4 pins and only 1 overpin. And at that range in Izmail, that's pretty good. Well, with the friendly Gneisenau gone, there really isn't anyone on the western half of the map for the good guys. Rocket is obviously well aware of that and is moving to try and slow down a push on that side. And I'm sure these guys were talking, and between the two of them, they probably decided we have to stop the enemy team from getting in our cap. As Reejr is at flank speed heading that direction. And we might be able to finish off New York here. Might only only take one shell with a penetration. Nicely done, sir. Alright, so that's, for keeping score, that's 2 kills for Reejr, 2 citadels, 34 shells on target, shot down a plane. And I'm sure Rocket has been busy as well. And Rocket has done a really good job thus far of avoiding taking serious damage. So he's got some HP to use here at the end of the game. It's such a delicate balance playing a cruiser these days because, you know, you don't want to give up all your hit points early in the match. But at the same time, you want to be able to do damage. Now, given his positioning early, I'm guessing he was able to. Down goes the friendly Koenig. Good guys have got 5 ships left. Bad guys still have 6. Point spread is about the same as it was last time I commented on it. Good guys are still in this match, but this could turn into an ugly mess for the good guys here, depending upon what happens to the group that's on the Delta 7. They're kind of bunched up there. Down goes the Bisbee to the Lazo, which has fierce guns. And, you know, if somebody had a gun to my head and I had to guess, I would guess the good guys are not going to win this game. If they do, it'd be pretty well. It would be nothing short of miraculous now with the Königsberg going down. Fairly close game up until about the 11 and a half, 12 minute mark. But at this point, it's looking pretty desperate. It's our heroes, Reejr and Rocket, and the friendly Ranger against 6 enemy ships. Reejr's angling to the Bayern, which is smart. But the enemy CV, I'm sure, is going to come have his way, and that's going to leave Monokukli and the Lazo to just throw shells with impunity. There's the Gaida. I think I would probably be trying to get shells on that DD. Not gonna sink it between the 2 of these guys. Maybe they can get him. Nice shot, Reejr. That was beautiful, and with AP no less. There are the torpedoes. Reejr did a great job getting around those. To show broadside to the Bayern in order to do it. Friendly CV, to his credit, is doing all he can to help with the Bayern. Just pushing in. See, the enemy CV is now pretty well focused on Reejr. Bayern showed a little broadside there. That's gonna be painful. Nice shot, Reejr. But if Bayern gets off another good volley, he's probably going to finish Rocket here. See, the secondaries on the Bayern are opening up. 13 seconds until Reejr's going to get another shot. Rocket is taking fire from Lazo, probably Monokukli. Reejr can get this shot off. No, that means the CV. Nice shot, Reejr. That's 4 kills for Reejr. Looks like the enemy CV is probably going to finish off Rocket over there. And it looked to me like the enemy CV still had a full squadron. That's just brutal. Now the enemy Lazo is really banged up. So the enemy CV is able to strike and destroy Rocket and still bring planes over here to Reejr. And do 5,100 damage. Yeah, I know a lot of people will say CVs are balanced and it's all set and good now. I just disagree. Anyhow, one good shot on the Lazo from the Ranger, and down he goes. It's still not entirely over. I think Monokukli is going to accelerate out from under those shells. chip damage there. But the CV is probably targeted now. He's probably spotted from the air. I think Reejr should be healing right now. Trying to get some more hit points, but he's not. And that's liable to cost him. He needs those hit points. More damage on Monokukli. One more volley at a little bit closer range. Probably make a big difference. And Reejr has activated his heal. And you can see that the enemy DD has moved to this side as after Reejr. Reejr barely avoided disaster there. He's in a much better range now to finish off Monokukli, but he's going to have to make a really great shot here. And he did. Beautiful shot, Reejr. Citadel for the kill and to pick up a Kraken. Absolutely fantastic play. But the CV is just relentless. So he's got the CV striking with impunity, and he's got a DD out there that is not spotted. The friendly CV is doing what he can against the enemy CV, which leaves the very deadly enemy DD undetected. Reejr doesn't really have much choice but to fall back under what is going to be a relentless onslaught of torpedoes. That DD that he's facing off against has about a 45-second reload on the torpedoes. They have a 7-kilometer range. The ship only has a 5.4-kilometer detection radius, assuming that at least a 10-point commander and the concealment expert skill. Friendly CV has apparently identified the threat over there, and he's moving over here to try and help. By spotting the DD, at least that allows Reejr an opportunity to angle against the position, the most likely position of incoming torpedoes. And you can see that Reejr has loaded HE, which is very smart. He's facing off against the DD, and you're going to do more damage in most cases with HE. And you can do splash damage with HE, which can destroy systems, including torpedo racks. Now there's the Fujin, which is it's a deadly ship. At this range, you got to assume that the torpedoes are already on their way. And Reejr's probably trying to angle up against him. He is. Here they come. Shots out. Well, he caught him. He did do some damage to a torpedo rack there, but I think that's probably going to be repairable. And at any rate, this one looks like it's over. Reejr, great game. Really great game. Picked up a Kraken, made some fantastic shots. 3 Citadels, 69 shells on target, shot down 13 planes. Not that it makes any difference, but 13 planes. Started a fire, took out a couple of systems. Really well played. To those of you who spent a little time watching this with me, I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining. If you have any comments, I'd love to read them below. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.